So how does VA disability back pay work? The VA will compensate you for the portion of the time that you were disabled but did not receive monthly VA benefits, right? AKA VA back pay. VA disability back pay may be paid to veterans when existing VA disability payments are increased. So you may file a claim, put in your intent to file, get an effective date. Let's say you do that now, and you do an increase and you win it in, let's say, December of 2023, you're going to get back pay from March to December. So that's one instance when you could get a VA disability back pay. First time rating decisions, that's another one, right? You filed your first claim and you're not getting paid anything. Get your intent to file in. The time, however, it takes them 7 months to adjudicate your claim, 7 months of back pay. So that's another situation where you could get back pay. Another way you could get VA disability back pay is secondary VA claims. So you're service connected for something, you have another condition, right? Depression, secondary to your tinnitus, sleep apnea, secondary to your depression, whatever it is. Secondary VA claims are another way you could get back pay. Again, all comes down to effective dates. Most likely it's going to be from your intent to file till when they adjudicate your claim, 8 months, something like that. Or, it might be longer than that. I don't want it to be longer, but you'll get back pay if you keep your claim alive. Check out my boot camp if you want to learn more about the VA claims process. And again, there's an email address to my med team in the description below. Here's the main factors the VA considers when they're calculating your back pay. If you have a previous VA rating is one of the factors the VA considers. They use the combined ratings table. It's not just 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30. It's more like 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 20 something, rounded down to 20. If your dependents have changed, they've rolled on, they rolled off, you got married, you got divorced, you had kids, adopted more kids, whatever, that will affect your back pay. And then how far back your effective date goes. That's another factor. So these are the three main factors the VA is looking at when they're considering and calculating your back pay. Does VA pay back to your effective date? VA disability back pay is calculated based on the effective date. It's all about the effective date. The effective date is usually the date that your VA disability claim was received by the VA or your intent to file, but there are some exceptions. And I just want to clear up a common misconception, and that is that, the VA will grant back pay all the way the date of injury in service or when the disability began. Those are not effective dates. They may be the date of injury, and it may have been in service, but when you're in the military, you're not a veteran. You can't get paid twice that way. So if you got out, filed the claim, all that kind of stuff, got denied, that's one way. But, know that it is not date of injury in most cases. There's exceptions for everything. VA couldn't make it more complicated. So let's break out the effective date thing and, look at this a little bit. If this is your first time filing a claim, this is called first time filers. The effective date is typically the date you filed your claim or the date you filed your intent to file. One exception to this rule is if you file within 1 year of discharge. This is called the 1 year presumptive period. If this is the case, then you're going to get paid right to the day you became a veteran. That happens automatically if you file your claim, BDD claim on the way out. You start the BDD claim process on the way out, or you file that claim within the 1 year presumptive period. You'll get paid back to the day after you got discharged. Another one is a rating increase. So if you already have a VA rating for something, 0% or something like that, and you were like, wow, this sucks, 0% sucks, and you decided to go take another look at it, and you realize your symptoms are worse, there is an actual higher rating, you meet the criteria, then when you file that claim, you're going to file a claim for an increase, and you're going to submit your intent to file, or if you don't do that, you're just going to file the claim. They're going to pay you the difference between when they adjudicate your claim and the date you submitted your intent to file. So if it was at zero from like 1975 to 2022, and you filed an increase in 2022, then you won that increase and you got it up to 30, you're going to get back pay for a year. It doesn't go all the way back. They don't redo everything. So keep that in mind. So another thing with increases is this. It's double-edged sword. Every time you file a claim for an increase, you're asking the VA to go look at all your disabilities. So if you haven't been going, or you can't prove that you deserve an increase, and even worse, all that's in there is nothing because you haven't gone to the doctor because the VA sucks, the VA is going to take that as, oh, he must have got better. So when you're filing a claim for an increase, you can also get a decrease. So let's say you're trying to go from 30 to 70. If you haven't done anything for like 5 years, they're going to take you from 30 to 0. Yeah, they usually don't just completely sever service connection, but they'll drop you to 0 in a hot minute. So keep that in mind. Keep going to the doctor. Protect yourself. Protect your ratings. Protect your disabilities. Make sure you're going to the doctor. The VA has plenty of ways to put negative medical evidence in your file. I talk about it in probably the last 400 videos. You need positive medical evidence. Get that in your file. That's how you protect against decreases. How does the VA calculate back pay? So like I was saying, it depends on your effective date. What date did you win? What's on your decision letter? And then they're going to make the calculations for you. If it's years, they're doing cost of living increases. That's one of the factors. If it's within the same year, 2023, you're not going to have a cost of living increase thing to deal with. Maybe you filed in 2022. And then you won in 2023, you're going to have the 2022 rate and the 2023 cost of living increase factored in. So make sure you understand before you call them out and be like, you guys, made a mistake. Make sure you understand all the calculations. Use a VA disability back pay calculator. If you appeal a denial, so you file a claim, you didn't quite have enough medical evidence or they overlooked it or whatever. So you have your intent to file, date you filed your claim, then your decision letter, and you appeal it. That could drag out for another 2 months to, who knows, years. So as long as you preserve your effective date and you keep hitting those things, you got to keep hitting and checking the boxes. They'll send you a letter. Hey, you have 60 days to do this or 90 days to do that or 1 year to do this. As long as you hit that, you're going to get all that back pay. If you miss those markers, then you're not going to get it. So appealing a decision is one of them. Presumptive service-connected disabilities is another one that changes your back pay. I used NEMR as an example. This relatively newish law. Depending on your disability, and if it's presumptive now and it was denied 10 years ago, especially if it's a NEMR claim for you Agent Orange veterans, certain conditions that fall in the NEMR class, you're automatically going to get back pay. The VA says they're looking for you to go give you back pay, but I'd file that claim and not wait for them to come to you. We're not getting any younger, and you guys are older than me. Changes in the law are another one. Again, I'm going to keep pounding on NEMR because I love it. It's great for Agent Orange veterans. Don't know if they're going to do it for Gulf War veterans as well, but that was a law change, right? Blue Water Navy veterans is a law change. The PACT Act is a law change. Some of these law changes will, have an impact on your effective date. So make sure you go in and look and understand what the law says, how it relates to you and your disability, and if you're entitled to VA disability back pay or not. So here's the big question. How do I know if my VA disability back pay is correct? So once a decision's made, they're going to send you a decision letter, and the VA is going to send you a lump sum like I showed at the beginning of the video. It's going to be a lump sum like, wow, 12 grand, 30 grand, 85 grand. That's going to hit, and that's the retroactive pay, right? The letter is going to tell you what happened, and then going forward, you're going to get paid at the new rate. So pay attention to the effective date listed on your decision letter. If they state is wrong, you may be receiving less pay, and you may need to challenge it. And then I guess this doesn't happen as much, but it does. They could also just have it all wrong and be paying you when they shouldn't be. So that could happen too. There's kind of two sides to the coin with everything with the VA. How do I fix an incorrect effective date? So you go in and you look and it's a presumptive condition, it's a NEMR claim, whatever it is, you know for sure the back pay, you calculated it through a calculator, did all the cost of living increases for the last 10 years. They're wrong. They just totally missed it. So you have them. What can you do? Higher level review. You get the decision and it's wrong. What do? You can't just tell them it's wrong and they're just going to write you a check. You have to appeal it. So you could do a higher level review is probably the easiest way if you know you got them. Another one is the next step into the appeals process, supplemental claim. Higher level review, you're reviewing the exact evidence. This isn't even about medical evidence. You already won that part. This is about the back pay. They might not see it. They may deny your higher level review, and then you need to go submit a supplemental claim with new relevant evidence showing calculations or why they're wrong with the back pay. So that's another way you can argue an incorrect effective date so you get your VA disability back pay. You could also go to the Board of Veterans Appeals. By far, this is the slowest way to go, but you could go this route as well. You should be able to do most of these things. If you could see a pretty obvious error, higher level review or supplemental claim should clean it up, and those will take months. If you go to the Board of Veterans Appeals, it's years. You're going behind all the legacy appeals, and then it's going to be years, 5, 6, 7 years. Get it done in the higher level review or supplemental claim. So here's some stuff about VA disability back pay. Use the calculator. Make sure you know what's going on with your effective dates. Make sure you're up on the law changes. Make sure you know the different ways where you might get back pay. Join my bootcamp at combatcraig.com. And if you need medical evidence, and you are, contact my med team. Email address is below, and I'll see you in the next video.